Okay, then. Let's start with today's why session. So, for the past few classes, we've been doing the Ayuda Puja. So, we've been doing different parts of the Ayuda Puja. So, today we'll be covering on Ayuda Puja's speech. So, speech is a really important part, and we speak every day. So, what is the significance of speech, and what is what we've talked about different parts of the speech. Now, today we'll be talking about yet another. Okay. Okay. I have a short story to narrate before I before I share today's message. So I'm sure many of you know Vivekananda's life story, but let me briefly summarize the context of this. So it was almost in the 19th century, around the 1800s, that Vivekananda was under his guru, and he felt that he needed to take his guru's message across the whole world. So he left India and he went all the way to US. And in US, he didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to spread the message. He didn't know what to do. He didn't have any sort of um, idea or anything on what to do. But he simply had the belief that the message was pure of his guru and that would help him through his journey. So he went all the way from India. He traveled all the way to US, and over there he found his way through. He managed over there, and one such event that happened there was he was invited for a gathering of many great philosophical people, and there were other gurus and other teachers and other people who were giving speeches that day, and Vivekananda was one of them in this mini series of speeches. So he wasn't really well known at that time. So they had put his speech towards the end. So around this was around 1893. So during this time, they people all of the people had given their talks. So in this event, many people had spoken, and Vivekananda was towards the end. And Vivekananda's turn came, and everyone was imagining you've been listening to people for nearly 2, 3 hours, 4 hours straight. So you will automatically be tired and you'll be sleepy, right? So this is the state of Vivekananda's audience. They're all tired and sleepy from listening to hours and hours. Not that the other speakers were bad, but the attention span is such that they were tired, and it was like that. So when he went to speak, he just said a few simple words. He said, "Hello, dear brothers and sisters of the world." And these few words, the audience erupted into an applaud for 2 complete minutes straight. They kept clapping. But you are wondering, what is so special about what Vivekananda said? What even I can say, dear brothers and sisters. But the specialty of what Vivekananda was it was from his heart. He meant what he said. He said it with his belief. He said it with genuinity. He said it with emotion. And that's what the audience felt what he said. And it wasn't simply the words. It wasn't simply what he said that moved them. It was the way he said it, the emotion he used to say it. So when you say something, it's not simply the words we say, it's how we say it, what we feel when we say it, what we feel inside when we say it. So that's how this emotion was conveyed to the audience, and that's what gave him that 2 minute applaud. All right. I have another story before we continue. I'm sure many of you know who this is. Can anybody raise their hand and tell me who this is? Tejas.
Abdul Kalam.
Exactly, APJ Abdul Kalam. So I'm sure many of you know his life story. He was one of India's greatest minds. He was a rocket scientist. He was even briefly a politician in India. So during one of his projects in ISRO, it was called SLV-3. So it was a rocket that was meant to fly into space and go into orbit. So they were testing this rocket, and obviously it's not bound to work, I'm sure, but but the people were really. So what happened was they tested this rocket and the rocket crashed, and people were really angry about this. They didn't accept it. They said it's a waste of money and time and effort and material. So APJ Abdul Kalam still took full acceptance of this. He didn't say it wasn't my fault, it was someone else's fault. He took full acceptances of this, and he still went to the public and he spoke to them. He accepted that it was his mistake, and the next year the same rocket was successfully launched. So in this case, he took responsibility of his mistake, and he still continued with his work. He didn't say, oh no, it's someone else's fault, and blame them, blame the people who built the rocket, or whatnot. He took the blame. He said it's my mistake, and he accepted that it's my mistake, and he still continued with his work. So there's a short video of him talking about this. Okay.
Day 17th August 1979, and I am the mission director, project director, and we're all in the control center. And computer takes over T minus 8 minutes. Computer will take over at T minus 4 minutes. Computer put a hold. It says don't launch. I immediately put the rocket in the manual mode. So rocket took off. 100 seconds, beautiful launching. I knew I lost the rocket system. Within few seconds, instead of putting the satellite in the orbit, the whole system went to Bay of Bengal. I am the mission director. I am the project director. I have failed the missions. With me, 5,000 people have worked. But Chairman, Indian Space Research Organization, he took the responsibility of failure. He completely switched my failure to his failure. Exactly after 1 year, I put the mic. I announced all the station. Here is your mission director. The satellite is at orbit, and congratulate you, I told them.
So was that audible to everyone? So that's another really important thing. When people don't want to listen to you, even sharing your thoughts and conveying something to them is really important. Not just when you have a really, like in Vivekananda's case, the people were ready to listen to him. They weren't saying, oh no, you are at fault. But in APJ Abdul Kalam's case, they were all against him. So that's another really important aspect of any kind of speech. So conveying something even when someone doesn't want to necessarily, when they think you're wrong. So maybe in like a debate or in an argument, or even in public speaking when you have to face a situation where you're not in favor. Is that clear to everyone? Any questions? Okay. Can we have a show of hands and we can share briefly as quickly as we can? Okay, Tejas.
So in the first story you narrated, Swami Vivekananda, he didn't just say those words. He said it like all the way from his heart. He didn't say simply, good morning, my brothers, my sisters and sisters. He said like with, what do you say, like with humbleness. He knew that the crowd was, getting lazy, getting annoyed with sitting there for such a long time. But he still found a way to make the crowd look at him. You need to speak in a way where you don't speak simply. You have to speak all the way from your heart. Now, same thing goes for APJ Abdul Kalam. He admitted that it was his fault in the crash. He didn't blame anyone else. Any other person who is not like Abdul Kalam would have blamed someone else, and all the blame was on him. But he admitted that that he made the mistake, and he will try to not make that mistake ever again. So that's what I learned.
Really good. Snigdha?
Yeah. So what I understood in the first story was that Vivekananda just did not say that dear brothers and sisters in like a simple way. He told in a very lovable and humble way, which made the audience very happy. So the audience understood that he is doing it with so much love and humbleness. So he's showing all his emotions towards the people. And in the second story about Abdul Kalam, even though his whole team like failed the launching the rocket, he took the blame and did not blame anyone else. So this shows how selfless he is. And I also want to tell a fact about Abdul Kalam. So
Please.
Abdul Kalam was like not really a scientist before. He actually got inspired by two people who were his seniors. One guy's name is Homi Baba, and the other guy's name is Vikram Sarabhai. So he got inspired by them, and he decided to become a scientist. And also, I wanted to tell one thing. My mom actually met Abdul Kalam.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
yeah, because he came to her college, it seems, and she saw him there for the first time. He came with Sudhamurti, it seems.
Oh, your mom is really lucky. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you, Snigdha.
Yeah.
Shreyas?
Yes, I understood from the first story about Swami Vivekananda's. There, after the audience, like sometimes many people in the world, they just after listening to a lot of speeches, they just fall asleep or just they get lazy and just eat and just sleep there. But his at his speech, when he said the words, "Hello, my brothers and sisters," they they felt a feeling. Yes, he is a true leader. Yes, he can. We shall listen to his speech to make us also a true leader. And he said those words from his heart. So the audience understood a lot. Then from the second story about APJ Abdul Kalam, when he knew that like many people, like he mentioned in the video, about 5,000 people helped to make that rocket, but it failed. But it was almost everybody's fault. But the public was blaming APJ Abdul Kalam itself. And APJ Abdul Kalam didn't want anyone to get the blame and get like sad, not sad, like uh, just quit the job. But APJ Abdul Kalam was very selfless, yeah, selfless. So he took the blame and he said, from it's my mistake. Now I will make sure that it will not happen. That's what I understood.
Yeah, yeah, very true. Thank you, Shreyas. Thank you. Kirtana?
Yeah. So what I understood is Abdul Kalam was a really good leader. So when you're a leader, when a mission fails, then you should accept the blame. But if it succeeds, you should give the credit to all the people. Like that's what Abdul Kalam did. Because the mission failed, he didn't tell it's all because of you that it failed, but he accepted the blame. But if it succeeds, he gave the credit to all the people, and that's what a great leader should be like. Also, Vivekananda in his speech, he just didn't say his speech without any feel, but he said it with from the deep of his heart, which inspired everybody. Even though his speech was very long, they didn't get bored because he was such a great speaker and was speaking the truth from the bottom of his heart. That's what I understood.
Yeah, really true, Sina. Kirtana, thank you. Pannaga?
Yeah, this first in the first story, I understood that we'll always have to try. Like we have to make the people attract on us. Like you cannot just say that what will happen if the people won't see me or get embarrassed about me or something like that. But yeah, Vivekananda just did not wanted that to show off, but still, yeah, he said that he said a very few words which attracted all the people. So that is what is a true fact that all the leaders will have it. Yeah, and in APJ Abdul Kalam stories, yeah, I learned this kind of same thing, that you should never blame somebody, but accept which will help you in future.
Yeah, and not just that, but he could talk to people even when they weren't in his favor. That's the main message.
Yeah.
Thank you, Panaga. Thank you. Kritik?
Yeah, so what I understood is from the Abdul Kalam one, after you make a mistake, you correct it. Don't do the same mistake again and again and again.
Yeah. Anything about the other story about Vivekananda?
Which everyone is saying.
Sorry?
The same thing which everyone is.
Okay. Thank you, Kritik. Namit, please.
So what I understood from the first story on Vivekananda is that like it's not about what you speak. Like you gave the example that even you could tell my brothers and sisters of America, but it's not with like what Vivekananda told, but it's about how Vivekananda told. So it's also important when you speak about the expressions and more importantly the humbleness which he had, like Tejas told, the humility which Swami Vivekananda had. And to talk about the second story on Abdul Kalam, like instead of putting the blame on others, we should also accept our mistake. Maybe there might be a mistake in others also, but still we need to accept our mistake, because like all these projects in ISRO are in groups. So as an individual and as a group leader, even all should accept the mistake, and more importantly, the leader of the group should also accept the mistake.
Really true. Very true. Thank you, Namit. Thank you. Rohan?
Yeah, from the story of Abdul Kalam, I understood that you should actually give credit to others, the people who helped you, and you should also confess your mistakes. And from the story, Vivekananda, I understood that he had empathy. He understood others' feelings, and he told dear brothers and sisters that word wholeheartedly. So that's why all the speakers just listen to him.
Yeah. He meant it from his heart, right? Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you, Rohan. Snigdha, anything else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So related to what Namit said, so about the Vivekananda story, so it doesn't matter on what you say. It matters on how you say it, because only with the expressions people will get impressed. They want to get impressed about what you're talking about. They'll usually get impressed about the expressions you're showing, the emotion, the feelings, the humbleness you're showing, about like the expressions you're showing while you're speaking. For example, now you are in a like you're acting as a movie cartoon character. So now you have to show the expression about that cartoon character. You can't just simply say the lines, because
Yeah.
whenever you're doing a speech or acting about something, you always have to show expression, or there's no use of telling the speech or acting about it. So that's why actions are more important than words.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is what I wanted to say.
That's really true. So I was watching a movie recently, and they said action speaks is louder than words. Something on these lines. So that's really true, Snigdha. Thank you.
Yes, and it also defines your body language.
Yeah, but not that your words don't matter. Let's say I say, Snigdha, you donkey. the words, my emotions might be fine, but the words is also matter, right? So it's a balanced thing. So your words should also be well conveyed, and your emotions should equally enhance these words. And
So you should use your words wisely.
exactly, yeah. Thank you, Snigdha. Anything else anybody wants to share? Okay, then let's stop the today's Y session here.